Brothers and sisters, this is a special episode, man. All the way from America.
Thank you for flying me in, iERA. You guys are doing great. Business class only. You know, thank you. I appreciate you guys.
That is definitely not true.
If I'm going to walk out of this bathroom alive, let me change my life around. I said this. I'm going to change my life. But I literally had this conversation with myself. I'm going to change my life around when I walk out of this place. Bro, I did that. And that's the moment I started looking into different options of religion, theories, thoughts. The plan of the devil is to attack us from different directions. And I want to make sure that my heart is kept to myself. And that even means for relationships, giving your heart to. Like, I love you were asking me off this about my girls and how my daughters are doing and stuff like that. Bro, my girls are everything. I love them. But there's only a specific level because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed them as a test in my life. I will never give them 100% of me of everything because I know that those are the same girls that Allah could test me with one day. You understand?
It actually reminds me of a hadith
of
the Prophet ﷺ where he expressed to us that don't love something or someone, for example, so much so that one day you hate them.
Wow. You guys are so amazing hosts. They flew me in here. You guys flew me in here. That is fantastic. You guys are super nice. Thank you.
We didn't. SQ, bro, it's lovely to have you, man. Honestly,
Thank you
it's been a whole year since I've seen you.
It has.
And it's weird seeing you in person.
It is.
Because
I'm weird looking? Is that the reason? Okay.
No,
making sure.
Because I've been watching you online. And you know what? Just like, since we're talking about weird stuff here, let's talk about the first time we met. I think it's a good place to start off, yeah? So guys, SQ coming up, obviously you might know him. He's been on Instagram for a long time. You probably do know him. He's been doing his thing, very, very consistent, mashallah, pumping out videos, pumping out stuff, advice, different stuff. We're going to talk about it all today. When you were coming up, you used to tag me in some of your posts.
I did. Trying to get your attention.
Yeah, you're trying to...
That's a common strategy. Any influencer out there, you're trying to make it big, tag people. I think that's important. You got to tag people.
And I still remember, I used to go on your page and I used to look at you tag like 100 people.
I did.
And I was like,
damn, you say it like that, doesn't make you feel special. But yeah, I would tag a lot of, the truth. The truth is, bro, I would tag people because look, I'm a nobody. I still am. Yeah. And I just know my posts are quality and they're beneficial. And I just need someone important to look at them. And you're important. I wanted you to look at them.
No, it's a privilege to even.
And the other 99 people too. I wanted them to look at it too.
Yeah, no, it's a privilege to even be in that list. But like, you were coming up like that. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I had seen you before, but I thought it's just like everyone else tagging me.
Yeah, you guys don't know, he actually seen me in a lot of movie posters and stuff like that. I'm an actor, for those of you who don't know me. Hollywood, come at me. That's where he knows me from. So from the movie trailers. Avengers, you all have seen Avengers.
He's not an actor.
I'm not actually in Avengers at all.
He's not in Avengers.
I'm not.
But when you were coming up here, I was actually... I was thinking, okay, this guy keeps tagging me and stuff like, and eventually, bro, you got really big, mashallah. Yeah. Like through all of your work, you actually got really big.
I started eating a lot, bro. So
you started making some noise. You started eating a lot. You started doing your thing, and you go out there. Yeah. And long story short, you ended up in the UK.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this brother's in the UK. He's 100%. Doing some good stuff in America.
Yeah.
Let's do a show with him. So I got a phone call. I was like, the brothers were like, we want you to do some show with him, etc. Long story short, my dad was on that show as well.
Yes.
So now me and my dad are walking towards SQ just to meet him before we go into the studio.
Yeah.
And we're walking towards him. And as we're walking towards him, my dad's like, wait, isn't that this guy? I know. And I was like, Baba, please.
Don't embarrass me, Dad.
Don't embarrass me.
Dad, don't embarrass me. Come on, Dad. Stop it.
So I was literally like, these people... You don't know
Dad,
him.
you don't know him.
You don't know him. I was even telling him that, no, you don't.
Trust me, Dad.
I was trying to like hint to him.
We've seen a video. You don't know him.
You don't know this guy. You don't know him. You haven't seen him before. Yeah. He's from America, for God's sake. He's from New York. You don't know him, yeah?
That only made it stronger for him. Like, when you would say things like that, in his mind, he's like, that only makes me want to know even. So when your dad comes up, let me just fast forward, right? Your dad comes up. So I see you and your dad. So obviously I'm very starstruck naturally because I've seen your videos. I'm a huge, huge fan. I still am. Musa's making the comeback on YouTube and everything like that. Soon he's going to be in, Speaker's Corner all over again. So I remember seeing Musa's videos, and obviously someone I looked up to. I still do. Your dad, a huge academic, watched his debates. So when I seen them, I'm kind of starstruck. So it's like I see them, but I don't want to act like I see them, but I see them. I know they're there.
Yeah.
And I see your dad coming up. Both of you are, mashallah, very, very tall people. And my first thought when I saw Musa, I was like, yo, he looks taller than I thought he would have looked. Like, you look taller in real life, and you were wearing that Pakistani shalwar kameez, mashallah, looking proper,
the blue one
from the pind. I remember you, man, from the gaon, So you had that, I see you, and then your dad comes out, and your dad says something to me, bro. He's like, Jay, and I'm like, hold on a second. Like, I
remember that interaction. I was trying to interrupt and be like,
you were like, Dad, stop it. He says Jay, and I'm just like, no, SQ. I think you have me mistaken. He's like, no, JR. Yo, when he said JR, my heart sank.
Are you being serious,
bro? There's only a handful of people who call me JR. You either have to know me from pre-college, like university, or you are a close friend and family. Everyone else calls me SQ. No one calls me that. So if someone called me JR, I would know what era they're from. Not iERA, but era. Like what time zone, right?
I like
what
that.
Time. So
I like that.
When he said that, I'm like, wallahi, bro, immediately I got so apprehensive and defensive. I'm like, who are you?
I remember your face was even...
I was just like, yo, who are you? Like, is this a setup? Like, is this a trap?
And that's when I backed off. I was like, okay,
well, this is real. Like, you and then he was like, I'm such and such's brother. I'm like, no way. And then we hit it off. And you know what? That was so cool because, like, I was trying to get your attention the whole time. It was really like Allah trying to connect us. But he kept ignoring me. This guy just kept ignoring me. You seen that? He's a ghost follower. He would watch my videos but then not, like, comment on them.
That's crazy.
See?
That's crazy.
But, bro, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has his way of connecting people. And that's exactly what he did.
In my defense, you know how it is as a social media personality. Like, you're getting tagged by loads of people, and I was thinking. But one thing that did seem honestly different about yourself, and this is why I knew your name and I knew who you were, is that your stuff was always from the get-go very, very outgoing. It was very different. Like, I remember there's a picture you put up and you were praying in like a playground. Yeah. And there's like all kids around you laughing.
Those are my students, those are my students.
So like, obviously you teach in school and stuff like that. I want to actually talk a little bit about how that is and stuff like teaching like
being
that
a
in
Muslim
America.
teacher. Wow.
Growing up in London, we have perceptions of how it is school in America and stuff like that. How was it, bro, growing up in America? We have obviously some of us maybe growing up, maybe, when we were younger, kids and stuff like that. Maybe some people used to watch some sitcoms, American ones, and they think that American school is a certain way. And how was it growing up in America?
Bro, I think that everyone's perception about New York comes from the movie Home Alone 2. Like, when someone goes to New York, they're like, hey, I want to go there. Oh, this is where he went. Oh, is this Central Park? And or sitcoms like Friends, and they're like, oh, where's Central Park? Like, that's their idea of what New York is. Yeah. But, whenever someone's come to visit me, like when Ali and Hijab came to visit, like, I try to show them the other part of New York that you don't see on TV. Growing up in New York, my experience was super unique. I came to New York on September 10th, 2001. Hours before 9/11.
Are you being serious?
Hours. Bro, imagine this little 12-year-old Pakistani kid.
That is crazy,
bro,
man. I didn't
know that. Bro, I'm there, and my first day of middle school, 8th grade, that's what we have middle school over there, starts in a couple of weeks, bro. I go there, bro, and I'm getting questioned they're asking me if Bin Laden's my uncle, bro, and I don't even know who Bin Laden is, bro. They said it to me so many times that I went home and I asked my mom, am I related to him? Wallahi, bro, I'm asking my mom, where's Mamu Bin Laden? Like, where he at? Like, I don't even know. I thought for a second, like, everyone keeps saying that he's my uncle. Mom, is he your brother? Like, I don't even know. Bro, they kept on asking me this question. So I grew up. I went to school at a very difficult, confusing time. Bro, I remember my teacher once asked me information about Al-Qaeda as if I have him on speed dial, bro. Like, Al-Qaeda, I have him as a Facebook friend. Like, I could DM them. Like, she asked me about Al-Qaeda. I'm like, I don't even know who that is. I don't know. Bro, this is how bad it was.
Yeah, that's crazy.
People said that the Twin Towers got attacked. I didn't even know what that was. Like, I'm hours into New York. I don't know what the Twin Towers is.
And you live in New York.
I was crazy. Hours into it. I knew something bad happened when I turned on the TV, and instead of Scooby-Doo on Cartoon Network, I saw President Bush, and he's giving a public service announcement.
Seriously?
I'm like, something's wrong when even Cartoon Network is showing the same news that everything else. Like, all networks were showing his address to the United States, right?
That's absolutely mad.
Bro, I get to school, first day of school. I look different naturally. I have a little Pakistani accent. I'm telling people, hello, my name is... And, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I don't know, but that developed because I was living in Pakistan for about 3 years. So, like, naturally that came with me, and I was dressed. I'd wear shirts like cool boy. Like the Pakistani type of clothes where it says, like, awesome boy. And, like, my clothes look weird. My hair look weird. Everything about me was so weird. So, bro, just my first days, months, years in school were awful. It was awful. I ran away from being identified as a Muslim. Because what happens with you with that identity of Muslims, bro, if a girl tried to talk to me by any luck, if a girl wanted to even get interested in me and the first question she asked was, where are you from? Bro, the moment I said Pakistan, the moment I said the Pakistan, and imagine slow motion, Pakistan, she's gone. I'm like, hello, where'd you go? Bro, dip. They would run away from me because not only of the terrorism and all this other stuff, it's just like, it makes me look like a nobody. So everything associated with Pakistan, which means Islam, which means the culture, which means its food, which means its dress, language, everything was negative, and I ran away from it. My goal was to look as Puerto Rican as I could. Wallahi, bro, my goal was to look as Puerto Rican, Spanish, Dominican as I could. If someone even called me a Mexican, I'd be like, oh, alhamdulillah. Like, whoa, yes, thank you. Viva la raza, bro. Like, I was just so excited because I did not want to be. Viva la raza, that's like a thing like Mexicans say, like, long live. The raza means the race. It's some Spanish, you know. Crazy. But like, I did not want nothing to do with being called Pakistani. And that's where a huge identity crisis in me developed. Bro, I grew up. So in how about this for growing up in America? The schools and high schools in America, at least in New York, most of them, we have metal detectors. Just try to imagine that. People don't know this.
In every school.
Metal detectors. Okay. Hear me out. So you have to take every single morning, bro. It's like the airport. It's like the TSA. Every single morning for everyone, you got to take off your belt, take out your keys, put it in the thing, put it in the machine. So it scans, and then you have to pass through a thing. I kid you not. Allah is my witness, bro. Listen up. Those of you listening to this, listen up. I would literally empty everything from my pockets for one purpose at all. Because if I beeped, all I was going to hear was this at the other end. Terrorist! And they all would have laughed at me. If I beeped, they was, oh, he got a bomb, yo! And they would have just laughed. I was a meme, bro. Before memes even existed, I was a meme, bro. People would be like, they would make fun of me, bro. So think about that. That's my upbringing. That's my vision and idea of Islam. Who would want to be a Muslim, bro? I wanted nothing to do with that at all. Super embarrassed.
So it's like naturally, and you're getting this intrinsic thing where it's like you're getting a stamp on you.
Yeah, it's a label.
Where it's like a label where you,
and it's not a good one.
And you don't feel good about it at all.
I ran away from being a Muslim. So, bro, I ran away from Islam so much that I ran away from who I actually was. And Islam is what gives you an identity. And I ran away from the thing that grounds me and that gives me my identity. So I grew up trying to search for that identity, searching for my importance, being with women, being with exploring and experimenting with drugs, alcohol, partying, just so I could find out one simple fact that I'm a Muslim and nothing else will calm me down, give me purpose in life besides Islam. That's why I go hard. You ask questions like, bro, you know, you're so active and all that, bro. This is my life's mission. I wake up in the morning thinking, how can I impact the world? Bro, but it's like literally that's what I do.
You know, before the reason, I mean, just to give the people context, you know, before I was actually sitting with SQ and I was asking you, bro, you know, one of the things I actually want to speak to you about in the podcast is, bro, as iERA, we know many du'at all over the world. We know many people that are giving dawah, etc. The people that are online, the people that many of the people watching us right now, they watch them online, and so we know all of them, bro. Alhamdulillah. But it's very rare to come across a person as dedicated as you, bro. Like when I met you, you said to me, bro, I'm releasing videos every single day. I treat this like a job. Monday to Friday, I'm releasing stuff. 100%. Saturday and Sunday are my rest days. Monday to Friday, I'm releasing stuff. 100%. Monday to you're always gonna see it. And I remember, I don't know if you remember, we were walking. I think it was in central London. Sure. And I still remember, bro. I went on your page. And I was actually, I think I was even looking.
You were counting.
Like, is this guy telling you, like, is he actually like that?
Yeah.
And bro, you're actually
100%.
like that.
100%.
Whenever I go on my Instagram, for example, and I follow a lot of people, you're always there.
Alhamdulillah.
What has driven you to be so motivated to do that? Is it because of the stuff you went through when you were a kid?
So, correction, now it's 2 times a day, right? I post twice a day now.
That's even more crazy.
And you know what, to be honest with you, it has a lot to do with me running away from who I was. And I remember once upon a time, I would be that person who brings people to parties. I would be the one who teaches people how to roll a blunt. I'd be the one who teaches people how to take shots and not mix the light liquors with the dark liquors. I was the one, bro, giving dawah to people to be the worst kind of beings they could ever be. And I am making up for missed time. I'm making up for missed time right now, posting twice a day because that's what I gotta do. Bro, this is my mission in life. Anyone out there who's like lost or confused, and bro, I'm not doing something so amazing. Believe me, it's not amazing, bro. anyone out there who's missing something or they're like lost or confused, what's happening is that you've lost your mission. You don't motivation, right? People are like, I lost motivation. Anyone out there right now, like, oh, I lost motivation. What it means to lose motivation is you've lost your motive. Your motive is your why. My why is I want to help as many people as I can. Bro, the other day, real talk, and this, I'm not saying this to you for this. I'm just telling you genuinely, sincerely.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm sitting at the airport and I'm bawling my eyes out. I am crying because I look at my DMs, bro, and there's so many people I haven't responded to. There's so many people I've responded to, and I read their stuff and I'm just like, how can I help you? Bro, I sometimes look at the stuff and I feel like there's a weight on my heart. How am I going to help this person? I'm only one person. And I don't believe in people managing my I'm doing it. Everything is me. And this is a favor from Allah. I'm not saying that I have some capacity, that I'm super strong. No way. It's all a favor from Allah. And I'm crying because I'm like, I'm not doing enough for these people. I'm not doing enough for you. You think 2 times a day. Bro, it's not enough. The Messenger ﷺ was never taking days off. I still take 2 days off. He was constantly doing the work. I'm not doing enough, bro. And that's what drives me. Knowing to myself that I could do more. And I pray that Allah gives every single person enough stamina and strength to continue to do more.
Bro, you know what I want to do as well? I want to get to... Because you know the way you're talking right now, some people might be watching and thinking, whoa, where did that come from? And stuff like that. And there's a lot of fire in you. There's a lot of motivation. There's a lot of it seems like there's a lot of frustration. No, honestly, things that you experienced when you were younger. And it's as if you've come to a realization that Islam is the truth. And you're just trying to shove it in people's faces. You're like, what? Acknowledge this kind of thing, you know? And I mean... It's similar to us at iERA, where we of course we really believe in what we're doing, akhi. These things, all of us as brothers, we all have our individual stories, and Islam has, frankly speaking, changed our lives, and it gives us peace and it gives us purpose, and we firmly believe with all of our hearts. I mean, with what Allah has given us, a mind, a heart, emotions. Islam appeals to every single one of them as the truth. 100%. We can't deny it. So I wanna step back a little bit and then come back. Where I wanna go, you spoke about your past a little bit. You were the guy teaching people to do this. You were the guy doing this. You were the guy doing this. You've spoken about your past before. But one thing that I wanna hit on is, are there any things about your past that you miss?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you feel like, you know what, I miss this thing about me?
To keep it 100 with you, music. I'll tell you why. Growing up, a lot of people wouldn't know this about me, but I was a huge Kanye West fan. Man. Like, I loved Kanye. I thought I was Kanye reincarnate, you know? Like, I thought I was Kanye, bro. Everything about him was just like, I loved, adored, admired about him. His person. I tried my best to take on his personality, every single thing about it. The reason I would say music is because one thing about music that I enjoyed was that, like, the deeper lyrics of certain things I could really relate to. That was something that I really missed, that relatability. And music used to put me in this zone of like I don't know, it used to give me like this zone of, not, I don't want to say motivation, but it used to put me in this type of zone where I used to think a specific way. The thing is this, like, the reason I miss it, but at the same time I don't miss it, is because, like, it used to make me feel really, really arrogant. I remember that. It used to give me that confidence.
Music does that to a lot of people.
Right, it's not me, right? It gives me
it does it to everyone.
Confidence. And I remember, like, if I was ever feeling low, I would listen to a specific song to get me back up. You know?
Yeah, because you imagine yourself as that person, as those lyrics. That's
bro.
Me. I'm the man. Yeah.
Ooh, I would listen to that, and some of the songs that I would listen to just get me, like, motivated and driven for me to be who I wanted to be and all that sort of stuff. And I realized that it wasn't making me become a better person, and I could see why music is something frowned upon in Islam. The reason is, bro, it messes with your heart. And I realized that the only person my heart belongs to is Allah. And everything else that impacts my heart, I don't want it to impact my heart. My heart, I have to protect it, bro. Our imans, our hearts, we got to protect them. And we got to know that the plan of the devil is to attack us from different directions. And I want to make sure that my heart is kept to myself. And that even means for relationships, giving your heart to, like, I love you were asking me off this about my girls and how my daughters are doing and stuff like that. Bro, my girls are everything. I love them. but there's only a specific level because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed them as a test in my life. I will never give them 100% of me of everything because I know that those are the same girls that Allah could test me with one day. You understand? So like I protect my heart. Like only thing that affects my heart and anything that something starts affecting my heart, I attribute it back to Allah.
It actually reminds me of a hadith
of
the Prophet ﷺ where he expressed to us that don't love something or someone, for example, so much so that one day you hate them.
Wow.
And don't hate something or someone so much so that one day you're going to love that.
Wow.
And if you look at Islam, for example, you look at Umar radiallahu anhu, who's a great companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the past, bro, he was someone that despised Islam.
He was an Islamophobe.
Maybe he was an equivalent of someone who was really against Islam, someone of today.
Yeah.
But bro, he eventually became such a person that the Prophet ﷺ said about him. Bro, can you imagine this? Look how deep this is. The Prophet ﷺ said about him that if there was to be another prophet after me, it would be him.
Wow. What an
honor.
Look at that. What an honor.
And what an honor. And look at how much, bro, someone can switch. So like right now, you may be watching this and you're far away. Mm-hmm. You're very far away. But look at how close you can come. Similarly to you, bro, you were very far away. The things that you're saying, bro, are shocking. Some people are going to be like, wow, this guy's like, no filters.
Yeah.
But now, you're completely away from that sort of stuff. I want to actually ask you now the flip side question. Yeah. What is something from your past that you are glad that is gone? And maybe at that time that was, struggle for you. You were like, I love this. But now you're glad that it's gone.
Dating sucked. I'll tell you why dating sucked. And you mentioned like no filters. I believe in transparency. I believe because I believe that the reason someone could relate to you is just because like, I'm just talking to you directly.
I'm sure some people judge you because of that though.
Bro, and that's 100% true because they live in a little bubble and anyone that's trying to sort of tamper with their bubble is a threat. That, they're going to pop my bubble. The goal is not to pop your bubble, it's to expand your bubble so that you can learn a little more. And the more you learn about Islam, the more you realize that your bubble is really unpoppable. It's a beautiful bubble, but just don't keep it to yourself. Spread your bubbles, out there, make more bubbles. All right. The reason I don't miss dating, and I'll tell you a true story, anyone out there in the dating field right now, I actually bought my freedom from a date, and not the kajur date, I'm talking about like the dates. I remember there was this girl from my past, and she was actually one of the reasons I turned back to Allah. And it was an ex of mine who really, we broke up, and I was a hot mess. And I obviously found Allah in this process, so alhamdulillah for my ex in a way, I genuinely found my purpose because of that heartbreak. So anyone out there, first and foremost, anyone out there struggling with a heartbreak, just know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala removed someone and he's going to replace with someone better. Not just a human being, but also the love of Allah in your heart is going to increase. And this is the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will call you back to him because you gave your heart to someone who doesn't deserve it. Your heart belongs to Allah. He's the only one worthy. He's the best of masters who will never let you down. So I remember I changed my way and everything like that. But bro, I was lacking something called closure. And there's a lot of times people end up getting back with their exes because they lack closure. They haven't gotten over their exes because they lack closure. And for those of you who don't know what closure means, it's just because of basically those loose ends aren't tied, right? They're still left over. They're untied. So imagine putting a bunch of beads. Because you haven't tied the end of the knot, they all slip out because you're still thinking about your ex. The only time I think about my ex today, bro, is when I'm talking about it. Really. So I remember I was lacking closure and I would just hope that, I would just want to find out where did it all go wrong. Okay. So I remember I hit them up or they hit me up. I can't remember exactly, but it was something where we mutually crossed paths again. Okay. Wallahi, bro, I went on a date with her and it was my final date ever with another human being, period, right? I went out and wallahi, bro, this was just maybe a month and a half of just having some Islam in my life. Just a little. Yeah. Bro, I listened to her, bro. Every single thing that she was saying, those qualities that I loved about her before, I started to despise. I started seeing her for who she really was. And she was always like that. She didn't become a new person. She was always like that. But I never had a rubric to judge people with. Now, and by the way, judge is not a bad word. It's just how do I sort of see a person for what they are? And bro, I started noticing all these qualities about her that I did not like. She was a liar, bro. She used to lie a lot, and I didn't like that. It never bothered me before, but now it does. She used to do all these other things. So I remember we went on a date. We went to Dave & Buster's. I don't know if you guys have that over here. You guys don't know. For those, shout out to Americans out there. Only the Americans know. The Yankees, they know about those Dave & Buster's, right? It's basically just American food. I don't eat that. I eat like the Zabiha halal, so I'd eat like maybe fish or shrimp from there or something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like it's like a gaming place, whatever. Okay, we went over there, and I didn't have a job at this point, so she wanted to go out to eat. And before, bro, no problem. We would go out, we would eat. I'd pick up the bill, not a problem. This time I know I didn't have much money, so I didn't really want to go out. But she said, come on, it's a good meal. So she kept on like saying, hey, let's go eat. But the way she made it seem, bro, I'm not trying to be funny, bro. It made it seem like she was going to pay for it. I'm going to be honest with you. And for those of you on a date, know what I'm talking about. Like, it's that awkward moment, bro. She's ordered everything. I didn't even order anything because I know that I'm not going to be able to pay for anything. Okay. But she orders the food. The waitress comes and puts the bill in the middle, and that awkward stage happens. We both are on our phones, and I'm just like, is she going to pick it up? Is she going to pick it up or what? Like, I'm waiting for that shadow to come in the background for her to just grab the check. Bro, we're sitting there for a minute and a half, and eventually I just grab it. And I remember, till this day, it was a $50 bill. Till this day, I remember it. Wow. And I remember thinking to myself that Allah has just bought my freedom. That was the last time I paid for a date. That was the last time I've ever paid for anyone from something like that perspective. And I never spoke to this girl again because there was something about that. And the more I realized, bro, she was like a gold digger, a lot of her. Because I used to have a really, really nice job at one point. I was making tons of money. And I gave that all up because I wasn't happy on the inside. Something was missing. And bro, she was just about the money. And she just wanted me to take care of her and all that. May Allah bless her and guide her. You know what I mean? I have nothing against her. But bro, I bought my freedom that day. And I remember the anxiety of dating, bro. Paying for people, meeting someone, and just the wonders, and meeting someone every day until you become so, bro, like your standards drop. Each person impacts you in a specific way that your standards start dropping. Eventually, you're going to settle for someone.
I was speaking to someone about this the other day. I was speaking to a brother about this.
Sorry, that was a long monologue. I apologize.
No. It's good, bro. Yesterday, because I actually think we can bring an amazing point from that.
Talk to me.
Yesterday, I was speaking to a brother. And this brother now, we were speaking about, it's amazing you mentioned this because we were speaking about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made certain things haram.
Yeah.
Now obviously dating is haram. Clear cut, everyone knows this. And obviously you're talking about your past to bring some benefit out of it. Now, bro, I believe, like even from what you just said, it reinstated what we said yesterday. That, bro, every time you do that, I think you realize, I think maybe now you've definitely realized why that's haram in the first place.
100%.
Because, bro, it like destroys you bit by bit. It's destroying you. And it's like, it's making you desensitized also to women. And it's Allah.
Bro, I viewed women as a 3-hour person. That's how I viewed her. I didn't view her with any value. I viewed her as a dinner and maybe something after. I don't view you more than that. And the more bad relationships you go through, you think that you get better. No, bro. It basically takes a piece out of you. And what happens is you begin to settle. You lower your standards and your values because eventually you're like, I need to find someone.
And this is like a message to the brothers that are doing this. It's going to destroy you and even the sisters.
Bro, it does.
And it's like because a lot of unfortunately, a lot of Muslims, they find themselves in these situations. And I feel like a lot of people, bro, find themselves listening to music, doing that, doing all of the things you mentioned.
They're all linked.
Yeah. It's all to find that inner purpose. Yeah. It's all for that. It's like you know, I was actually listening to I don't know if you know Richard Dawkins. You know Richard Dawkins. Yeah, Richard Dawkins, one of the leading atheists of the world right now, and he actually mentioned something that when you look at the world. And this is him mentioning this, when I look at the world and I look at all of these things, it makes me want to worship.
He's an atheist? This is an atheist?
Yeah, it makes me want to worship something. Yeah. Wow. And bro, it's like, it shows us how intrinsic worship is within us because all of this is like worship, bro. It is. You're trying to find something to give your heart
something.
Exactly.
You're giving an act of return.
Exactly.
It is.
You're trying to give your heart to something.
Yeah, it is. And we end up worshiping the wrong thing.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
And they don't yield any goodness for our heart.
Exactly.
They don't.
Yeah, and it's like eventually, bro, you come to realize many people. This is how the typical revert story is. Maybe someone came from drugs. Maybe someone came from alcohol. Someone came from music. I was with a brother yesterday. He was telling me music was a big struggle for me. You know, just like you mentioned. Yeah. everyone has a struggle, but it's like the disease was the same.
Yeah.
If you get it,
Yeah.
the disease, the problem
100%.
was the same. You were looking for peace. You were looking for tranquility in the wrong things.
Absolutely.
And everything, it was all there in front of you. You just had to kind of take that leap of faith.
And can I just say about this, and as a teacher, as an educator, every single student learns differently. Some are auditory learners, so they learn by listening. Some are visual learners, they learn by seeing. Some are textile learners, like they learn by touching things and manipulating things and working with it.
Yeah.
The way Allah has made his worshippers, bro, are in certain ways that some people don't have to go through this to find Allah.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Some are just born in a condition that their hearts just yearn. Okay, some people, to turn back to Allah, Allah knows that they're going to have to require to see someone die in their family. Something terrible that needs to happen to them for them to turn their way. And by the way, that doesn't mean that Allah wasn't always trying to bring you back to him. He always was. But he knew what was going to push that water to come over the glass, or over the waterfall. He knew what it would take. Some people require you to go down the wrong path for you to finally learn something that Allah wanted you to know from day one, that there's no happiness down there. I've been trying to protect you from that path for so long, but guess what? The only way that you're going to learn is by going down that dark route. But the good news is this: I'll never give up on you. And that's what I love about Allah. He never gives up on you. People will give up on you. People will write you off. How many times, bro, have you written off someone who perhaps is maybe doing drugs, selling drugs? Bro, that's what I love about iERA. You guys aren't writing off people. You believe that everyone deserves a chance at dawah. And if they are saying no to it right now, that doesn't mean they're always going to be. Let's go back to Umar bin Khattab, bro. Radiyallahu an. We could say that now. Bro, he was an Islamophobe. Hated Islam. True? Hated the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. True? Everything that Islam stood for, he hated. True? Yet he's buried next to the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam today. When we go and for the ziyarah and we're getting pushed by the people, like sardines in a can, and you try to give salam and all that. Yeah. Musa has the VIP pass now, so he gets to do cool stuff. We don't. We're in the conveyor belt, and we're trying to say salam and it's going like that. He's buried with our beloved Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which showed one thing for sure, that the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did not believe in giving up on people. He made a dua for the best of Omars to turn back, right? The best of Omars. And this was the best of Omars. He never gave up on anyone. And oftentimes, when we maybe give someone a leaflet, a pamphlet, or a book, or a YouTube video to watch, and they don't turn their hearts, we're just, Allah sealed their hearts, they're done, they're written off, they're done. Because that gives you an excuse to not work. That makes an excuse for you to not try. But iERA, they're trying no matter what. You guys are, debating with Richard Dawkins and other leading atheists and thought, no, I'm not going to stop on you. Because you know why? Because you never know what it's going to take for your heart to turn over. Because that's all. It's all a matter of Allah turning it over. Who are you to give up on someone?
That's why we make the dua, Ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Which 100%. Means, O turner of hearts, keep my heart firm upon your religion. We're constantly asking for that, because guidance is truly, bro, from Allah. Like when I see people like yourself, and we hear about stories like Umar radiallahu anhu, and etc. Many people that have come back to Islam. The ayah comes to mind in the Quran, وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى, and he found you were lost and he guided you.
And that also shows, and I would want to hate if someone's taking what I'm saying as some type of arrogance, and that's what that ayah reminds me of, that it's not you. Musa wasn't this. SQ wasn't this. Oh, you found your way, SQ. Bro, I was flipping in my bathtub, curled up in a fetal position, crying, ready to kill myself. I'd never forget that, bro. That's an image in my mind that will always be tattooed. People look at these tattoos, bro. That image is tattooed in my mind. I'm not, for those of you listening, I'm not some self-righteous dude, bro. I have more problems now than I probably had before, because Islam is revealing qualities about me that I still need to eradicate. There's still, bro, a ton of issues wrong with me. But the beautiful thing is that Islam is allowing me to slowly but surely detox myself from those things, bro. It takes time, and I can't give up on myself because Allah hasn't given up on me. Bro, think about this. The two magicians, bro, woke up that morning ready to fight Musa alayhi salam and his brother in the court of Pharaoh. They woke up as the worst of disbelievers you could imagine. Then they died as martyrs. I want you to, you just said that beautiful, beautiful dua about the turner of hearts to turn my hearts. What's a better example of that? Bro, the reason, and this is my goal, people will want to know, why are you doing this? And whenever, bro, I feel down whenever I feel like low, I read some hate comments from all you internet warriors out there, you keyboard warriors out there. I go back and I read my mission statement. I wrote a mission statement when I did this 2 years ago or so, that my goal is to help people discover their Islamic identities. That's what I want to do. And everyone's Islamic identity is a thumbprint. It's unique.
SubhanAllah.
I want to help people identify them. So the moment I start feeling down about myself, I remember why I'm doing this. Those magicians didn't give up. Allah didn't give up on those magicians.
Bro,
Turn their heart.
Bro, Allahumma barak, you're really inspiring, mashallah, tabarakallah, to say the least. And even like you're bringing stuff to my head, that's why a lot of stuff's coming to my head right now. Like there's a place in the Quran, because you mentioned Musa alayhi salam, where Fir'aun asks Musa alayhi salam. He asks Musa that, and the way he asks it's like the Quran, it also shows the miraculous nature of the Quran, where the way he asks is, what is your Lord? Not even who, he says, what is your Lord? Yeah. And bro, imagine, people don't reflect on the Quran like this, yeah? That is a place in the Quran where it's a conversation that's documented, where it's like, Fir'aun said this, then Musa alayhi salam said this, Fir'aun said this, Musa alayhi salam said this. It's not common in the Quran, yeah? I think it's maybe the only place where it's like that. And bro, do you know what the crazy thing is, bro? Musa alayhi salam responds, this is your Lord. And then Fir'aun says something else, but what does Musa alayhi salam say? Bro, and Allah is this. And he just continues saying who Allah is. What's he doing? He's ignoring all of the other questions. He's ignoring all of the other things that Fir'aun is saying, but he's referring back to what? The first initial question, what is your Lord?
Wow.
And he keeps referring to that first question. And it's if you're reading this, it's like me asking, bro, SQ, what is this? What is this jean jacket? And you say, yeah, it is this. And then I say, okay, what's that? You say, no, this is this.
Yeah.
And then I say, okay, what's this
I'm bringing
ring?
back to its importance. I'm not done talking about this jacket yet.
You're still talking about that. You're still.
This is more important than you would think.
And that shows us, bro, what you're talking about. It shows us that we see that in the prophets as well, where we see that in the prophets they were a people that were very, very da'wah centric, very focused, very, very focused. Where you see in Surah Nuh alayhi salam says, قال ربي إني دعوت قومي ليلا ونهارا. I called my people day and night. I was calling them day and night. I never stopped. I was calling them. And some of the narrations tell us that Nuh alayhi salam, you know how long he lived for? I think it's maybe in excess of 950 years, if not 950 years. He lived for a very, very long time, bro.
But imagine rejection every day. Bro, that's one of the reasons people don't give dawah. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid to explain. They're afraid of like someone not taking the leaflet. Bro, it's a very, people think that you have to be extroverted. No, anyone could get hurt giving dawah. Bro, like it's a hurtful process for someone not to take your leaflet, or for someone to curse your religion, for curse your God, or like it hurts. So you're telling me Nuh alayhi salam never got hurt, bro? People have feelings.
Of course, bro. Of course, bro. Like speaking of feelings, one of the things that you mentioned, which was very powerful, actually, I want to kind of open that up a little bit if I can. It was about, you mentioned you were at one point curled up in the bathtub and you wanted to kill yourself. Many people feel like that. They feel suicidal in themselves. I've got messages like that in the past. I'm sure you have as well. I'm sure at iERA we get emails like that as well. What made you feel like that, and what got you out of that?
I think that one thing that we forget is that, imagine that your heart is this thing that's alive, and it is. In Islam, the idea of the heart is very unique. And anything that's alive requires food, sustenance, nutrition. The nutrition that I was giving my heart for the longest were the wrong things, okay? So I was giving it women, I was giving it parties, I was giving it alcohol, drugs. I was giving it a bunch of things that it didn't deserve, okay? I would give it all these things, and guess what happens, bro? It would, take it, it would absorb it, but it wasn't doing it any good. Then I met this girl. And that nutrition that she gave me was so immense, bro, that my heart felt so good. When that got taken away from me and I tried to feed it back to, it's like eating regular food than eating organic food. You know what I mean? Like that, she was organic food for me, right? It definitely wasn't, But that went out of my life. And then I started feeding it back the same stuff that it was used to. Bro, it didn't work. It kept getting rejected. And the feelings of rejection of the heart is sadness, depression. It's giving you a signal. It's giving you a signal that something's wrong. Your heart is telling your body, mayday, mayday. You're feeling sad, depressed. You don't feel satisfied. You have anxiety. You're depressed about every single thing in the world. There's something wrong. You need to check this. You need to go to a heart specialist. I started feeding it back to the same stuff. It didn't work, bro. It just didn't work. And I was there and I'm curled up, like you said, and I just didn't see any hope. But something, bro, I felt a sense of relief. And the part of that, I guess, dua I made, I didn't realize I was making a dua, was that if I'm going to walk out of this bathroom alive, let me change my life around. I said this. I'm going to change my life. But I literally had this conversation with myself. I'm going to change my life around when I walk out of this place. Bro, I did that. And that's the moment I started looking into different options of religion, theories, thoughts. And that's where it came from. And I realized that when I was feeding my heart the nutrition of the Quran, that's when my heart felt truly content. That was the only nutrition that ever made me feel good. And that even means more than the parties, the weed, the girl. Like, that means more than that.
Sometimes your heart is your compass.
It is.
And it's telling, and as you mentioned, it's telling you something's wrong, but sometimes it also tells you what you need to do.
Yeah.
I think everyone deep down.
And when something's right.
Yeah.
When something feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone deep down knows what they need to do.
Sure.
And we were just talking about this upstairs as well, Everyone deep down knows what they need to do, and everyone knows what they got to get out.
Yeah.
And I think it's about that middle period.
Yes.
You know that doubt, bro?
Yes.
There's that doubt, akhi.
Yeah.
That doubt really destroys people. How did you get over that doubt?
So,
am I sure about this?
Yes.
Like, I fear for myself,
Yeah.
Is it like a thing of what have you got to lose?
Yeah.
Or what is it?
So that's an interesting point. 2 points that you actually mentioned, bro, that were really interesting. The first thing was like the heart that tells you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned something really interesting in Surah Qiyamah. He mentioned something called basira. And it's just like basic instinct, this moral compass, if you could call it that, right? This basira that tells you right from wrong. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that was inside of you on the day of judgment, and that will be enough to testify against you. You knowing that something was right from wrong, that was enough for you, right? The more we connect our hearts to Allah, His book, His messenger, guess what happens? That basira gets stronger. Your moral compass is stronger. But the more you go away from it, the more you start asking, well, is there a fatwa for this? Well, is it really haram? Maybe there's another school of thought that says it's halal. Your moral compass starts twitching, it's like it's on crack or something. It doesn't know what's right from wrong. You start questioning it. But the more good you do to it, the stronger it helps you determine from what's right from wrong. And you asked a really good question, bro. And a lot of our moral compasses, our basira, are damaged because we keep feeding it the wrong thing, and we have to recalibrating it. The more Quran and goodness you feed it, the more you're able to tell yourself right from wrong, because the tests don't go away. Just because you're a Muslim doesn't mean things become peaches and and cream. It still becomes difficult. You asked a really good question about what do I have to lose? Bro, one of my biggest things that I personally struggle with was the idea of self-doubt. What if no one watches these videos I make? When I had to start my YouTube channel and my Instagram page and all that, my biggest question was like, what if I got 2 views, 3 views? The self-doubt, what do I have to lose? That question. Bro, that comes from an immense amount of anxiety. And anxiety is when you keep thinking about the future. When you keep looking at the future and thinking about the what ifs, what's going to happen, what this, what that. Bro, all you're going to do is giving shaitan the door to come in places. Yeah, bro, what are you going to do? People aren't going to watch that. You're going to spend 3 hours in editing this video for only 3 people to watch? Bro, it's not even worth it. Look at your family. So you're gonna like.
So what do you do then? You just got to do it?
Bro, you do it anyways, because your mission is not the 3 views. Bro, that's your ego. Self-doubt is the process of you thinking about yourself. You got to be selfless. Think about the audience. If someone's like worried about, self-doubt and this and that, it's because you're thinking about yourself. Stop being so selfish. Think about the audience. Think about that one person that's going to watch this. Think about those 2.5 people that are going to listen to this podcast or watch my Instagram videos or watch my YouTube channel. I don't care of how many people, because our mission, our goal, our truth is so strong that it doesn't matter who's listening to it. Bro, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions things in the Quran that other books have forgotten. right? He mentions conversations and stories that other books don't even mention, details that Allah found worthy of mention, because every detail counts to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That edit that took you so long on Adobe or Final Cut, that you really making sure that the audio is working correctly, don't think that slips Allah, bro. Nothing slips Allah. Every single thing. When you're thinking self-doubt, I think that's when the shaitan wants you to stop, and that's when you need to push yourself even more, because the shaitan knows that that one person watching or listening is going to benefit from it. So he doesn't want SQ or Musa to do it. Guess what he wants to do? Bro, stop. Bro, I remember calling you once on WhatsApp. I called you because I was really down because of people were saying really hateful things towards me. And you were telling me, bro, that's just a shaitan trying to slow you down. He's trying to slow you down. And you were like, you know what? Maybe the shaitan's trying to slow me down too. Right? We spoke about this. Bro, the shaitan's trying to slow us down by putting self-doubt. Everyone has these issues of like self-worth. Everyone does, bro. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam was recording the Quran to think that when no one was really accepting Islam, like, is it me? It's natural to question your methodologies, your style. It's natural. But Allah responds that He is the one controlling the heart, not you. You deliver the message. Stop being selfish. Stop putting self-doubt. Stop thinking about yourself. When you're a speaker, when you are a content creator, yeah, you're thinking about the audience. But you're thinking about the audience. You're not thinking about you. You're thinking about them. You just want to help them. And that's what should give you that high, helping people, bro.
Sometimes you have to stop thinking as well. Sometimes you've done too much thinking.
Yeah.
Sometimes, bro, you know exactly what's right from wrong, and you just need to do it.
Do it.
You just need to do it. Sometimes
That's
you
it.
don't think. Sometimes thinking is the wrong thing to do.
Bro, overthinking and thinking is all designed to mess with your head. So imagine this, right? Imagine a footballer, okay? Or a basketball player. I know a lot of people listen from the UK. I'm going to give you a football example. He's by himself. He wants to kick maybe a few field goals, right, inside. Penalty kicks, as you may call them. Yeah. He's kicking them with no goalie in mind. He's trying to bend the ball. He's trying to curve. He's trying to do all these things, trying to, make the guy slip in front of him, imagining that there's a goalkeeper over there. Okay, so watch this. The reason he's doing that is because on game day, the moment he has to actually perform, he might get nervous. He might get worried. He might get anxious because of the crowd. They're waiting for this goal wins it all, right? It might happen to him, but guess what? He has so much muscle memory connected to his motion, his ritual, that whenever he gets nervous, he goes back to those rituals. So anyone there nervous trying to start, like I remember, like whenever I start, bro, I'm nervous too. I get that sensation in my belly. I don't want anyone to think I don't. But bro, that gives me a sense of a high. Like I love it. I love that nervousness. I convert that energy into something positive. And I have rituals. Like if you ever see someone on a free throw line, they spin the ball a little bit before shooting it. Before someone steps on the field, maybe they have a ritual. Bro, it's designed to calm your nerves down. Before I speak, I have a ritual of how I say things, how I praise the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how I praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because that helps me center myself before going into my talk. It's all about ritual. You need to do. And anytime you're being stopped from doing, there's some force stopping you from doing it. And that means you got to do it even more, especially if it's something positive, not something negative. Obviously, if it's something negative, stay away from it. But I'm talking about doing something that you know you should be doing. Be responsible. Be disciplined enough to do what's right. Because we know what's right from wrong, bro, at this point in our lives.
Most definitely. Allahu Akbar. It's crazy, bro. Another question that I need to ask you because I think it's something that we've been going around a lot, is how important is da'wah to you? How important is giving da'wah? What it's just like, what is the thing that makes you think, you know what, this is what I need to do for the rest of my life?
Bro, I think that da'wah is an invitation, right? And I think we all know that that's what it is. Bro, I want to make sure that, imagine a party that you're inviting someone to. I want to make sure that party is so poppin', it's so awesome that there's a line waiting for people to come. Because the only way you're going to come to my party is if you see those snaps that I'm having a great time, right? I showcase my life, right? Because you said that one thing that attracted you was just how upfront I was about everything. Bro, I show you the ups and downs about everything. I show you how much fun it is because, bro, Islam is fun. Islam is cool. And it's our job to make it happen. Think about iERA, bro. Think about what you guys are doing. You guys have these awesome shirts. You guys have awesome podcasts and all these things. It's an attractive thing. It's to show people that that Islam is not some backwards thing to do. It's progressive. Islam has always been progressive, bro. When the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was talking about women's rights and the Quran was talking about women's rights, that was really liberal. Right? That was super liberal. When Islam is talking about how women has inheritance rights, that was super liberal. It was so progressive that people who were so backwards, they were like, what are you guys doing? No way. When the slaves were equivalent to any believer, that was one of the reasons people didn't accept Islam, because they were like, no, our slaves are not going to be the same. No way. That was liberal, bro. Islam is so progressive. It's the way of the future, bro. Yeah. I am inviting people to the best thing in the world. How can I stop that? Dawah is everything. Dawah is the invitation to everything. I sometimes wake up in the middle of the night, bro. Literally, I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm just like, I have a really cool video idea and I write them down. You've seen my notes. I've shown you my notes, bro.
Your notes are crazy.
My notes are nuts.
Your notes are
bro,
crazy.
And it's like, I just don't even make sense, bro. You just keep scrolling through them, bro. Bro, it's because I love it. I love it. And I love something and I want to help you love it too.
You know what I love about your notes here? Because I want to talk about your notes. Because you actually helped me make some notes that day. I remember I was like, SQ, what can I talk about? What do you think? And bro, why would someone ask a question like that? Because they're not sure what they should talk about, right?
Sure.
So you maybe
nothing wrong with that. And nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
That's why I'm not sure. To show it. Everyone can be in this situation. So there's 0 things on the table. Bro, when you left me that day, I think we had like 100 things.
Yeah, we had a lot.
And bro, it's just from what are issues people face.
Yeah.
Okay, pornography. Okay, fine.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about. Okay,
we just kept brainstorming stuff, didn't we? We just kept throwing stuff. Yeah.
Insecurity. Okay, cool. People. Okay, showing off. Okay, cool. Let's talk about it. Not concentrating in salah. Okay, let's talk about it. And the list goes on, bro. The list goes on. All of these issues that you can talk. So it's like, your notes are crazy, and it shows, bro. And this is one of the reasons that I wanted to get you on here, because look, some of the brothers in iERA, like Saqib, no, I'm only playing. So some of the brothers are so busy, bro, doing the dawah, bro.
Yeah.
Where it's like they may not know about yourself. They may not know about so and so who's out there, etc. They may not know about you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, so when I bring them someone, I'm like, trust me, we've got to do something with this guy. This guy's, alhamdulillah, they trust me and we do it. And bro, it just goes to show you, the reason I done that with you, bro, the reason I wanted to bring you on here.
Because I'm family. And I paid them a lot of money. And they flew me in, bro. They're not going to fly me in for no reason, guys. Come on. Business class. You guys were so sweet, mashallah.
You guys are going to get us in trouble. You know, in one of the last episodes, we actually spoke about with Ustad Hamza about how iERA uses money, and we're very vigorous with the way we use money.
Sure.
You would never have a big business class flight with iERA. Wow. I'll just let you know that.
You can't. They would put me in the stowaway luggage. They'd put me in the luggage. They didn't check me in.
If we could, we would.
They would chuck me in there.
Nah, but alhamdulillah, and it goes to show me how this was my point that I was trying to make. How serious you are about what you do, bro. It's like if you saw like a serious entrepreneur, you would see that he's noting things down. He's keeping tabs on everything. Why is it that we're not doing that with the dawah? We have to do that with the dawah. We have to take it seriously, bro. We have to take notes. We have to make sure that we feel like that. If you don't feel like that and you're giving dawah, then there's a problem with you.
Bro, I sometimes feel, I ask Allah, like, why me? I sometimes do that, bro, because I feel like sometimes the whole weight of the shoulders on my end.
Yeah.
And I remember that this deen doesn't need me. I need this deen. I'm a nobody. The moment I pass away, there's someone else who's going to take my spot.
100%.
This deen doesn't need me. I'm not some God's gift to earth, bro. I'm a regular dude who is taking God's gift and trying to give it to the rest of the world. Bro, I'm not. So the moment I get stressed out or thinking that why me or I can't help everyone, that's not my goal, bro. My goal is to help as many as I can. And I'm going to do as much as I can to help as many as I can. And
inshallah,
inshallah, that's the plan. And you know what? I stray. I go like off track sometimes, and sometimes I get lazy. Sometimes I, like get off the path towards I'm supposed to go to my goal. But the beauty is that like a GPS boat, it reroutes you and you come back on the trail. And we always ask Allah to make sure, Allah, please, the moment, Allah, I stray off the path, Allah, please reroute me.
Ameen.
Get me back on the M45, get me back on that path, get me back on the highway, get me back to my goal.
Is there an M45?
Nah, I mean, these are British, bro. These are British references, mashallah. This is M45. Is there an M45? There is one, right?
M25.
M25. Get me on the M25, bro.
Yeah, M1.
It's cool. M1. Get me on there.
Route 66.
Get me on the Bakerloo, bro. We do this.
Bakerloo. SQ, bro. It's been such a pleasure having you, bro.
Absolutely, bro. Thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate you.
It's been absolutely amazing, bro. Honestly, I'm not just saying that. It's been absolutely amazing having you on the podcast. And brothers and sisters, that was ReRooted with SQ. Allahu Akbar. It was an amazing episode. I really, really enjoyed it, and I hope you did as well. Brothers and sisters, very, very quickly, before we let you go, we need to tell you something.
Stay.
Don't go.
Don't go.
We need to tell you something very, very important, okay?
I'm going to ad-lib you. Everything you say, I'm going to be like, uh-huh.
Okay,
all
cool.
Right. This is like a rap video. We're going to make it happen. Go.
We're on the major podcast platforms.
Major.
Okay. Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts.
We here.
Google Podcasts.
Tell them, Musa.
Make sure you download us on one of those.
Download them right now. Click off this right now and download us right now. Make it happen.
Look after yourselves. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum, guys.
Bro, I'm saying it right now. That's the best one we've done. It's the best one we've done. That's the best one we've done.
May Allah